The Utah Jazz are an intriguing team to look out for going into next season. They had the number 2 overall pick from the NBA Lottery just a couple days ago. We're here to break down what their offseason could look like here on From the Nosebleeds. Okay, Zach. The Utah Jazz obviously made a big splash at the trade deadline, trading for Jaren Jackson Jr. from the Memphis Grizzlies. Gave up really nothing for him, but he's on the team now for the next 3 years, locked down, guaranteed. A lot of other pieces around. They have second overall pick in his next draft. A lot of optimism in Utah. You know, a team that hasn't had success since they traded Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gobert 3 seasons ago. Nothing's really happened there except an Anthony
Some
Edwards
bad
poster on John
jerseys.
Collins. Yeah, and some
What
bad jerseys.
bad jerseys? Like, I guess they're out of the bad jerseys. I can't slander them too much, but you
Yeah, hey,
you know me from what I've said about the Wizards. I hate bad jerseys. I hate boring jerseys. I in our Wizards recap, I forgot to mention how bad their jerseys are one more time. But
yeah, we that's
Utah,
part of their offseason preview. But
Utah's getting better. Utah's getting
it's a
better
sign
with
of
the
the times.
jerseys.
They kind of went back to like a modern way of their throwbacks. I like that a lot. But yeah, they have a lot of things that they can really work with here, but a lot of things that they can't really go around. Like Jaren Jackson Jr. takes up 30% of their contract space right now, 49 million, pushing 50. He's going to get to 50 in the next couple of years, 50, 52 million over the next 2 years. But again, they have a young prospect in Ace Bailey, who they just drafted with the, I believe, 6th overall pick last year, 5th overall pick last year, something like that.
Yeah,
Whatever it is, an exciting young player in Ace. They have Laurie Markkinen, who's they're still paying 46 million, but still one of the better forwards in the league, which people don't really talk about as much. Keontae George there lacks defensive qualities, but an offensive standpoint plays really well there. And then obviously Isaiah Walker. Whoa, Isaiah. I said Isaiah Walker. I meant to say Walker Kessler. What am I talking about? Um, Walker Kessler is a restricted free agent, so they got to figure out what they want to do with him. But Zach, let's
this
look at their
roster's just so this
first option.
roster's
Yeah,
just so interesting to me. I just I want to talk about it. Like, Lonzo's Ball is on this roster. Like, not a lot of people talk about that. Mo Bamba's on this roster. Like, if you told somebody back in 2017 that those two would be on the same team, they'd be going crazy. Like back in 2018, uh, Nurkic, one of our favorite players around here. Our good buddy Reese Goodall has all his jerseys throughout the year. He loves Nurkic.
mm-hmm.
Kyle Filipowski, obviously, I really like him as a prospect. Or I really liked him as a prospect, but he hasn't shown to be quite there just yet. Uh, Cody Williams. Cody Williams. Where do I start with Cody Williams? He's something. Some would like to call him a nepo baby. I wouldn't disagree with them there, but he's something there. He's, I guess, potential. Isaiah Collier has not been good. He farms a lot of assists, but the
Bezin
impact
Bang
just
got a
isn't
triple
there.
double. You talk about Bezin
Yeah,
Bang triple
Bezenbang
double.
did get a triple double. Uh, Ice Bryce Sensabaugh.
Ice Bryce, bro.
Hey, it's on Will Hardy. Will Hardy has to play Bryce Sensabaugh. All 48, bro. All 48. He's making the All-Star team. Trust, believe in Ice Bryce. He may not be
Golly,
that
dude.
great of a player, but he's tough. He's tough when he's on. Obviously, Trip J, Lori talked about it. That's quite an interesting front court / 3 and 4 combo there when healthy. Do they bring back Kessler? I think that's a big talking point about their offseason. As far as free agents go, they have. Let me look at it.
They have
Oscar
66
Tshiebwe, who's
million.
restricted,
Oh,
which I
sorry.
imagine they bring back Oscar just around just as a piece there. Elijah Harkless, RFA. Kevin Love, who's been the vet there, he's a UFA, and I'd be intrigued if he decides to go back play a more vet role again, or if he just calls it quits. I mean, he's 38, he's not getting any younger, but we're talking about a guy who just eats, sleeps, breathes basketball, and Kevin Love, and
Mm-hmm.
probably one of the better mentors around there. Like, obviously, he's not Chris Paul level. Chris Paul's probably the greatest mentor to ever play the game of basketball. He's not even like a UD, but he's just around that team. He's a fun guy.
I think for a team
And
like Utah, who's going to have a number 2 overall pick come into the league, I think
yeah,
Kevin Love's a
I think they
great
could use
player
the
that
experience.
you can bring back to mentor him. I mean,
Yeah,
you mentioned not the greatest mentor of all time, but he's one of those guys that there's not a lot of that in the league right now. Like, there's no
there's
real mentors in the league.
he's an experienced guy. You bring him in for the
Exactly.
experience,
Yeah.
and so I feel like he'll probably be back around like on a 1 year deal, either that or retirement. Yusuf Nurkic, the Hornets are praising the Lord that his contract is off the books. They will not be bringing him back. I can almost 100% say that for certainty. I don't know why you would, but 17 that's 17% of the cap cleared out for them. That's 29 million freed up. So they will take that any day of the week. I think Yusuf Nurkic is gone. Maybe they use some of that money to extend Walker Kessler. I think as it lines up right now, if you're considering him on the team, he will be the starting five. It will be Laurie at the 3, Trip J at the 4, and Walker Kessler at the 5, which obviously is a massive, massive lineup. Probably one of the bigger lineups, probably the biggest lineup in the league. Like we have some notorious double bigs in the NBA, especially when you think of like Jared Allen, Evan Mobley. But this lineup, if you put Laurie at the 3, it's just massive. So it'll be
Then that
interesting to see what
actually
they
would
do
work,
there.
dude. Like, Laurie at the
I
3 would
think it would
actually
because of his
work.
spacing. Yeah, because of his spacing.
Yeah.
Uh, outside of that, I'd be intrigued if they decide to bring anybody in because they do have a lot of cap space. They're 36 million below the first apron, and I don't think that's even including Yusuf Nurkic's contract coming off the books. So we'll see. I'm imagining right now that they're going to extend Walker Kessler. Maybe even if they let him go, it'll probably be a sign and trade, I'd assume. But we'll have to see how that plays out. I don't know. What do you think, Koa? Do you think they should go out and try to pursue somebody in free agency with that 36 million? Do you think that's
I think
attractive?
I think with the lineup like you had, like you said, with the possibility of putting Jaren at the 4, Laurie at the 3, Ace at the 2, I mean, those guys are kind of playing a position up in terms of their height and skill. So I think with that space, I think if you go out with the second overall pick, I think you would probably want to draft somebody like Darren Peterson, or the talks of them moving up to number 1 to draft AJ DeBonsa. Whichever way you go, I feel like you need a secondary ball handler no matter what you do. I think with that, money that you have, there's not a ton of options when it comes to, you know, true point guards, but let's run through some of the names real quick. Uh Io DeSumo was going to be a free agent. Uh like that's probably like the best one. Mike Conley is old, but is going to be a free agent. Tyus Jones, Colin Sexton maybe bring him back. Kobe White's going to be a free agent.
Hold on. Run that by me again, bro. You just say Tyus Jones.
I did say Tyus Jones. I'm just looking at people that are available. That's really
Boys
it,
out the
honestly.
mud. We
Boys out
Just
the
for
mud.
the
We
nosebleeds, we
got
got Cole
Tyus.
Ferrer here. We got Tyus Jones here.
But yeah, there's gonna
I'm
be like
sorry, bro.
it's not gonna be
Tyus
him,
Jones.
but there's
Yeah.
there's there's players. I think you probably want to target somebody like Sumo, maybe. Colin Gillespie's gonna be a free agent as well. Jordan Goodwin as well. Uh,
Hey,
Javon Carter's
if we're
gonna be a
talking
free
about
agent.
if we're talking about vet guys, he's not a point guard, but maybe bring in a CJ McCollum as a mentor.
Maybe.
We saw how
Honestly,
like
that
he
could
balled
be
out with
something.
Atlanta.
Yeah.
I'd be very intrigued. Like I feel like he might very well have a market after the way he played in that playoff series. Anthony Simons is on the market. I'm just going through straight UFAs.
Yeah, me
Norm
too.
Powell. Did you mention Norman Powell?
Norman Powell's gonna be a free agent as well too. You're right.
I don't know. A lot of these guys fill the same or similar roles to Keontae George, fill similar roles to Darren Peterson, who I imagine they'll be taking at pick 2.
Yeah, I just think they need a ball handler, honestly. So because
Honestly,
what
I
I'm what I'm what I'm
you
what
might
I'm
hate this. You
scared.
might hate this,
Oh, Gabe
but
Vincent.
no. What if
Oh,
they splash some cash on Austin Reeves? Try to put in a bid there.
I mean, as a Lakers fan, I wouldn't hate. But if we're talking straight, like if I put my Jazz fan cap on or whatever, I think I'd love that for them
I
because
don't. I don't know.
that's a ball
I
handler,
don't
dude.
love that. I don't love that, especially when you already have Keontae George in there and you're likely bringing Darren Peterson.
I mean, George
Now,
only has 1 year left on his deal, I think. So kind of.
you're right. But Keontae's probably there for the long haul. A lot of Jazz fans think he's their number one option. I'm here to tell you that there's no way in anything that Keontae George is your number one option. Uh, you could pick Caleb Wilson at 2. You could pick anybody at 2, and he's going to be your number one option. That's your best player going forward. But I like the idea of Austin Reeves the more I think about it because he will handle the ball. I think Darren Peterson is a combo guard. Obviously, I don't know if you've heard the rumors around the combine, but he's been going around him and his agent telling teams that he's a point guard or he views himself as an initiator in the league, which that's just not how he played at
uh,
Kansas. That isn't what he looked like. He didn't really pass the ball very well at Kansas. Granted, he didn't turn the ball over a lot. He just didn't show his as much of his playmaking as he did in high school.
it wasn't
So
like exceptional playmaking. It was just
yeah,
basic reads and stuff like that.
he played a lot more like a Donovan Mitchell or a Devin Booker with defense type of archetype, which is a
Mm.
very, don't get me wrong, I uh, I talk bad about both those players. That's still a very valuable archetype, especially when you take into account Darren Peterson's defense. But I don't necessarily view him as an out and out ball handler just yet. So if you brought in Austin Reeves, I wouldn't hate that, even though I don't think the Jazz should be in a rush to win.
Yeah, I don't think so at all. I think this team is set up perfectly for the future and the long haul, especially with that number 2 overall pick. They don't have to win right now. You can spend another year sitting back, seeing where this goes, develop the guys as a unit first. Um, I'm a reference to Charlotte Hornets. They made the play in, looked like one of the best teams, but um, still to make the playoffs. But they figured out who they were as a unit. They're kind of like an exception from it a little bit more because they gelled as a unit so much from the get go, which you don't see as a lot of. But I feel like that's what this Utah roster needs to do: get that number 2 overall pick in, insert him into the roster, see where he fits, and then build some continuity throughout the season. And then the year after that, you still have Jaren Jackson, you still have Laurie Markin if you don't trade him. You're gonna have Ace Bailey if you pick up his options. Um, Keontae George, if you want to bring him back, he's gonna be a restricted free agent. Like all these guys, you have locked down basically um, for a while. Like even though they're not quote unquote guaranteed to be here, they're restricted or they have club options. So it's not the worst spot for Utah at all. And then you don't need to go out. What I'm really scared about for this Utah team is they're going to get trigger happy. They're really going to get like excited about the fact that they have the number 2 overall pick and they have Jaren Jackson, they have Larry Markin, they have a lot of young guys on their squad. They're going to be like, we need one more player and we can contend for a championship this year. That's just not going to be realistic. No matter who you get, you can go and get like I don't really. There's like no player that would bring you to become a championship contender in one season. Like it's just not going to happen like that. And so
There's no
it's
reason to
like,
rush it.
yeah,
Yeah.
there's no reason. You're good right now. You're so straight right now. Like it's fine. But the
I think
big,
I think for
I
a lot of
think
these bottom tier teams, especially the ones with top picks, like my sentiment is very similar to what I said about the Wizards. Uh, this year should be a feel out year. You want to know who is going to be one of your guys going forward, and get rid of like after this year. If they don't show any promise, get rid of like the Isaiah Colliers of the world, get rid of the Cody Williams of the world. Start to cut dead weight, start to get rid of guys who aren't going to be a part of this team going forward, and acquire picks. Like I do think they should be out here taking on bad contracts, especially with that. What is it? 34 million? I said under
I
the
don't
under the
know
first
if
apron. Yeah,
I
36,
think they're a
36.
lot.
Sorry.
I think they're a lot more than that, dude.
Well, that's not even taking into account that Nurkic is gone. So they have a lot of money to spend, and they don't necessarily need to spend it, but they can move that money by taking on or use that money by
Spotrac
taking on bad contracts.
Spotrac says that there's 66 million for Cypher space right now.
That's probably considering all the UFAs. So that's like that just goes to further my point. Take on bad contracts, get picks. Like this shouldn't be a contention year. Like I would understand an Austin
Oh
Reed
my
signing.
god.
I'd understand like signing a veteran point guard, but this shouldn't be an all or nothing year. Is
Yeah,
basically what I'm saying.
I agree.
Especially in the Western Conference, you cannot fast play anything in the Western Conference when you have the Thunder and the Spurs of the world, even the Wolves. You can't
Yeah.
fast play anything.
I want to. We kind of touched on it a little bit, but we didn't. I don't really know if we went into too much detail. But Walker Kessler's situation, he's a restricted free agent going into next season. He's not under contract yet, but whatever team offers him, the Utah Jazz can immediately match, no matter what the contract situation is looking there. So What do you think they do with him? Do you think they splurge to bring him back? If that's the case,
I don't know, man. If the Lakers don't go out there and sign Yusuf Nurkic like you want, maybe Walker Kessler's an option there. We've seen that tossed around a lot. There's a lot of other teams in the league. I'd say that would be buying or vying for Walker Kessler's talent. He's obviously a good big, but I really lean towards the Jazz are probably going to bring him back, especially at least to get a taste of that ultra big lineup, because that's honestly they would likely be one of my league pass teams next year if we're talking like Keontae George, Darren Peterson, Lloyd Markkinen, Trip J, Walker Kessler. I think that would be one of the better watches in the league next year. So I think they probably bring back Walker Kessler.
I agree with that. I mean, obviously, I would like the Lakers to pursue him a little bit, but again, with him being a restricted free agent, Utah has quote unquote unlimited money to spend. They can match any offer they get for or Walker Kessler gets. So we will see. But until then, hey, this is gonna be a fun. This is gonna be a fun team to watch over the offseason. Number 2 overall pick, obviously. We'll see if they make that trade to go up to number 1 and take their guy
Probably
AJ
Probably,
Bonta.
probably Darren Peterson. I'd say
Yeah,
Boozer.
we'll
I
see.
still
But
think Boozer and
hey,
Wilson are better, but
but
fit
if
wise,
they
I
want to
get
jump
it.
up, if they want to jump up to 1 with the Wizards, make that trade.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. Until then, um, yeah, we will be back for the nosebleeds. Utah, interesting situation. We'll see what they do. Peace out, y'all.